Getting rich just got insanely much harder, as if the governments across the globe decided to make it almost impossible for any average person on a fixed paycheck to ever get rich. I know that this sounds like a conspiracy, but unfortunately this is the truth, and in this video you will be convinced. If you ask any average person, did life got a lot more expensive in the last 5 years since COVID, or it got a lot cheaper? And most people will tell you that life got a lot more expensive, life got a lot harder. But what if I told you that is not true if you look at the data? The way we measure the economy is through GDP. GDP is basically the size of the economy. The more money is there in the economy, or the bigger the size of the economy, logically, the wealthier the average person should become. So if you look at the GDP of the United States since 2020, you will see that it is dramatically rising since 2020. It is rising faster since 2020 than it ever did in the history of the United States. Now, this is not unique to the United States. If you look at the average country, or any other Western country, you will see the exact same thing. Let's take Germany. Before 2020, it is barely growing. In fact, the GDP is struggling. It is stagnating. After 2020, Germany's economy is rising faster than ever. But if you go to Germany and ask any average German person, they will tell you that life got a lot more difficult. Volkswagen factories are closing down. Let's look at the UK. The British economy is stagnating until 2020, then it's rising dramatically. And I can go on and on with all other examples. The exact same thing is happening. So what exactly is happening? Why global economy is rising faster than ever? Why the size of the pie is getting much bigger than it has ever been in the history of these countries, but people are getting poorer and life is getting a lot more expensive? Something is not making sense. So on paper, everybody is getting rich, but why that is not being reflected in the real life? Maybe because people are lazy, maybe because people are not working. Well, let's look at the unemployment rate in all of these countries. You will see that, let's take the US. Unemployment rate in the US has been going down dramatically. Right now, it's about 4%. Well, that is much lower than it has ever been in previous decades. Now, that is the tendency pretty much across all other countries. If you take the UK, Germany, France, and so on. Yes, in France, it's slightly much higher, 7.5%, but historically, the unemployment rate in France has always been much higher than many other nations. So, people are working, everybody is employed, everybody who wants to have a job almost can actually find a job. And yet people are actually struggling to make ends meet. And yet people are barely paying the bills. You're working more, you're getting paid more, but unfortunately, for some reason, you can buy a lot less things. Let's look at your productivity. The productivity of the average American, and the data for other nations isn't literally that far away from the United States. So since the year 2000, the productivity have increased by 53%, and the data is very clear. This means that every single year, the average American worker, so we are talking about lawyers, engineers, doctors, and everybody, the middle class, they're working more, they're adding more value to the economy. So naturally, you're supposed to make more money. And if you look at the wages, yes, people are making a lot more money than they used to 20 years ago, or even before COVID. But here's the problem. They can buy a lot less things. Because if you look at the median income, at the real wage adjusted to inflation, it hasn't actually grown much since then. In fact, let's go to 2020. Since 2020, your productivity has increased, but your real wages have actually gone down dramatically. So since 2020, the average person is adding more value to the economy, is working a lot more, is working a lot harder, but the amount of money that he is receiving that he can buy things, he can buy a lot less things. So naturally, even though the size of the economy has grown, the average person can now afford a lot less things than he used to, for example, before COVID, back in 2019 and 2020. So who exactly is winning? If the economy is growing much faster, then somebody must be winning in this economy because it is growing anyways. Well, the data on that is very clear. Let's look at the wealth that billionaires actually have. If we look at the wealth of the billionaires since the year 2000s, yes, it has been growing every single year. But there is an outlier year. If you look at the 2020, you will see something astonishing. The wealth of the billionaires have skyrocketed in 2020. It has grown much faster than it did ever in the entire history, probably, of humanity. But this is the data since 2020. The data is very, very clear. Look at the number of billionaires. In 2020, we have created more billionaires than any other year. And if you look at their wealth, it is still growing since then. For example, since the year 2000 up until 2020, billionaires have accumulated $8 trillion worth of wealth. Since 2020 to 2026, they have accumulated another $8 trillion. So basically, in the last 6 years or in the last 5 years, billionaires have accumulated as much wealth as they did in the previous 20 years. Do you see who exactly is actually benefiting from this system? Here's the question. What exactly is happening? So we have two types of people. We have people in the economy who are getting a fixed paycheck. And then we have people in the economy who are holding wealth. Now, wealth and making money are two completely different things. Your house is wealth. It is a real asset. Gold is wealth. Your knowledge is even wealth. But making money is basically you're getting paid a certain amount of currency. Let's say it's the US dollars, the British pound, the euro, regardless of who you are and where you are. And the value of that currency can easily be manipulated by throwing more money into the economy. Wait a second, do you want to say that the governments just purposely created money out of nowhere and threw it in the economy? This sounds like a conspiracy. What exactly are you talking about? Why are you spreading so much conspiracies? Well, let me show you the data. This is the central banks. The central banks all across the globe, especially in the Western countries, since the year 2000 have thrown so much money into the economy. Basically, the central bank of the United States has massively increased its liabilities. That means that the Federal Reserve basically created money out of thin air and threw it into the economy. It basically doubled the amount of cash basically between 2020 and 2022. That's not unique just to the United States of America. The same thing is happening in Canada. Let's look at the European central banks, the Bank of England, the exact same thing. So this was a coordinated plan across all central banks, all across the Western countries to actually create a lot of money and just dump it into the economy. What happens when you do that? Suddenly, the value of cash in the economy depreciates because now you have a lot more cash chasing the exact same amount of goods. So if you spend your entire life saving a lot more money, the value of your savings instantly depreciates. But here's a question. What happens to the assets in the economy? The value of assets must adjust to the new number of cash in the economy. So you see house prices rising, stock prices are rising, gold prices are rising. Like the price of all assets have actually dramatically risen. So the real wealth in the economy isn't actually the real cash, but the amount of assets that you have. Which is why when the government threw so much money into the economy, these billionaires and trillionaires, yes, they're adding more value to the society, they're creating more businesses, but instantly overnight, their wealth just skyrocketed just because there is so much money in the economy. Let me give you a very direct example. Let's look at the Elon Musk. His total net worth right now is about $800 billion. Soon he's going to become a trillionaire. Yes, Elon Musk is doing a lot of things and you have to give them credit for everything that he's doing. Let me ask you a question. He has $800 billion wealth. That wealth is primarily his stake in Tesla and his stake in SpaceX, the companies that he's running, and a few other companies that he has launched. But here's the question. How much cash Elon Musk actually has? $850 million. Well, that is a lot of cash. Yes, it is a lot of cash. But compared to his wealth, that is not even 1%. That is literally 0.1%. Because he just needs his cash or that much cash maybe to run his life, to run his businesses. But he's not sitting on so much cash because he knows that the government is actively devaluing the currency. And why would the government do that? Because all Western governments are actually drowning in debts. And one way you actually fix your debt problem is by devaluing the currency because you have borrowed that debt in that currency. If you borrowed that debt, for example, in gold, then you have to pay back that much gold. but that debt was exclusively borrowed in a specific currency. So if we coordinate such a massive increased supply of the dollars or any other currencies, then we're devaluing all the previous debts, but at the expense of the average people who are on a fixed paycheck. Here's the question. What is the objective that the government is actually achieving besides devaluing the debt? You're working a lot more, but for a lot less money, which is something that the entire government wants. The billionaires wants that, the government wants that. Basically, everybody wants you to work more, just get paid less. Yes, you think, oh, I got paid a lot more money, but that more money can just buy a lot less things. Secondly, is that they want you to pay more taxes. Wait a second, how does that actually work? If you look at any country, especially the Western countries, you'll always see a progressive tax system. And that means that the more money you make, the more taxes you pay. This seems like very fair, because if you're going to make more money, you will simply pay more taxes. But if you look at all countries, across the globe, you will see that they've been lowering taxes for the last 50 years. Ronald Reagan passed one of the largest tax cuts in the history of the United States. Then Donald Trump becomes the president, and in 2017, he passes Trump's tax cuts. This is not unique to the United States. It has been happening in the UK. It has been happening across the European countries, not much, but it still has been happening and all across the globe. Why? Because you want to lower down taxes and attract rich people to come into your country. But if you're lowering down taxes, then how are you going to fill the budget? How are you going to receive enough money to pay the pensions, to build the schools, to build the infrastructure? So how can we balance that? If we throw so much money into the economy and artificially increase your income, on paper, this higher income is not buying more things, but on paper, you're actually receiving a lot more money. You will be pushed into a new tax bracket. So for example, on the first $11,600, you're paying 10% in taxes. But we have increased your median income by 30%. So now you're making like $15,000. But this $15,000 can actually buy a lot less things. But now you are in a higher income bracket, so you are paying more taxes. If you used to make $100,000, you are paying 22% in taxes. But we have increased your income by 30%. Now you're making $130,000. So that extra $1,000 is now being taxed at 24%. So essentially, by devaluing the currency, we have pushed everybody into a new and a higher income bracket, which means that they are going to pay a lot more taxes. So we'll generate more taxes and balance our books. So essentially, they told you that they will lower taxes on you, so you were happy voting for your candidate, but now they reversed the system and basically inflated the value of the currency, and now you're paying more taxes but can afford less things. And this is just the beginning. They will continue doing this over the next 5 to 10 years, which means that systematically, even if you work harder, even if you add more value to the society, even if you become more productive, even if they pay you more money, you are still going to get poorer every single year until they fix the global debt problem. So here's the question. What exactly do you do to get rich in the system? You do what every other rich person have done. You start buying assets. But today it is very difficult. Look at house prices. It is insanely difficult for the average person to actually build wealth. That's why the only way to do this is to do that through the stock market, is to start buying the right assets. So if you want to know what are the best stocks you should be buying right now, what are the best assets you should be focusing, or you want an individual plan for yourself to plan your investments, you can jump on a call with my team that will help you to build an investing strategy that is specifically tailored for you. And the first 100 people who will use the link in the description of this video will get the consultation for free. The link is in the description of this video.